Hello folks, name's Cal, and this is just a little introduction to a little pet project of mine. If you're watching only to see what mods I'm using, just check the chapters and skip ahead. I want to do a little backstory for Shepard here, but first, Mass Effect 1 is hard for me to play live, while I'm recording. Not all parts of it. Combat, I'm engaged. The story, I'm engaged. Conversations, I try to chip in. I have, dialogues and stuff, and that gets better as the game goes along, and I'm writing this after recording is finished, and I will have cut lots of footage because I almost 100% the game every time I play. It's just how I am, and my commentary, the editing, the audio balance, it all gets better as the saga continues. And even more so in Mass Effect 2, as I've started recording that too, as the presentation of Mass Effect 2 is just better than Mass Effect 1, and I think most people would agree. That being said, I'm hoping to add a little bit of tiny flavor this time for our Shepard. If these recordings go well, I've got some other BioWare games that I'll want to play, and our Shepard is going to be canonically descended from the main character of Dragon Age Origins and Morgan. If you don't know, Morgan was a witch, and you can make a deal to have a baby with her, and that baby is special in its own right. And my main character in Dragon Age Origins was usually a wizard, so double wizard baby. And I feel like maybe I'll do a Dragon Age 2 Let's Play as well, but that's way into the future. Deep, deep, deep. And I don't even know how many folks would watch that much or even care. But I just used to love playing games with story, and I used to love having somebody like watch on the couch and do theories and all this fun stuff, and this seemed like a pretty good outlet for that. Even if nobody watches, I'll still act like somebody's watching as I'm playing, to a certain degree. Long story short, our Shepard is going to have ancient ancestors that were extremely powerful wizards and witches and warriors and maybe some crazy other stuff. His ancient ancestors used lyrium to enhance their magic, and in our timeline, that lyrium is just going to be a diluted form of Element 0, unrefined. The element in Mass Effect that allows the biotics to have their abilities, the Element 0. And of course, our Commander Shepard will be a biotic. And the more Element 0 he is exposed to, the more he explores in space, the more and more he is able to tap into the power he has from his ancestors, reawakened by the Element 0 exposure. He will get powerful, and more powerful. Also, we might just consider the bad guys of Dragon Age as could be indoctrinated forces, and the Grey Wardens unknowingly were stopping some Reaper forces, or perhaps our ancient ancestors were able to ward off some of the Reapers 50,000 years ago to not even try to harvest the planet. They wasn't worth the trouble, or something or another. We'll make up whatever. But regardless, in the end, our Shepard is going to end up being canonically the most powerful human of all time, and that way this whole story makes even more sense. And perhaps the Darkspawn transmitted their memory to the Reapers, or maybe the Darkspawn got harvested, or who knows. Basically, our Shepard's going to be powerful. He already is powerful in-game, but it's going to explain some things in-game, and some minor modding as well. But basically, this is going to be done within the game mechanics. Now, if you're interested in the mods, stick around. I've got the second half of this video to show you what the mods are. There's something that happens narratively between game 1 and 2 that's going to help out a lot with like the storytelling. It's not going to be a huge deal. I promise. It's not going to take over the video, but it's basically going to allow me to play Mass Effect, even though I've played it many, many times. This isn't like a guide or anything like that. This is a almost 100% playthrough of a character who I know some of the decisions he's already going to make. He's going to be a guy who gets stuff done, is mostly altruistic, but most people would consider him a renegade, even though he doesn't make the choices that a quote-unquote renegade Shepard would. And it's going to be fun to craft that. And I got a couple planned surprises and stuff, and there are going to be some decisions that I have purposely uncommitted myself to, because I don't want it to be the same playthrough everybody's already seen, but then again, there are some things that you just can't miss out on and screw up. So for Mass Effect 3, I'm using a lot of mods. I'll explain those when we get there, but essentially the happy ending mod and the community patch are the big ones. Extended Galaxy mod, if you know what they are. Essentially, it makes it so that one of the endings that you can get actually turns out to be better, and I've never played it before, so I've decided I'm going to do that. But right now, we're here to talk about the mods we're putting in Mass Effect 1. Now, Mass Effect 1, for us, it's going to be maybe a harder game to record and edit than I want to. So what I've done is I've tried to make it really easy to play Mass Effect again. I've probably played Mass Effect 20 times, 15 times when I was, you know, younger than 18, and multiple times since then. I'm 31 now, but we've just got some Alliance uniforms. This puts the Alliance uniforms that are in 3, I believe, onto the LE1 characters. Legendary Edition 1, Mass Effect 1. I think this gives us the black market, like it gives us a lot of the licenses early, so I don't have to chase them down. This marks the mineral deposits. Oh, this is just a graphical thing to help me compare weapons easier. This helps me track my missions easier. So this is one that might be controversial to some folks, but you gotta understand, I've probably spent 10 hours of my life at least in the Mako, driving around on random planets. I get it. I understand the challenge. I have figured out how to beat Thresher Maws on Insanity mode. Not that I'm great at it, but it's like I could do it. So for this playthrough, going along with Shepard just being a little bit better and having some kind of hindsight that's crazy and making odd decisions, his Mako also has infinite thrust and jump, just to make it easy. And he can also infinite sprint, like in Mass Effect 3, because the sprint bar, personally, in my opinion, just only hinders outside of combat actions. I've never had an issue with the sprint bar in combat, so I don't mind using this at all. The LE1 community patch, tons of bug fixes and stuff. As far as I know, perfect. I don't even know what this is. I must have downloaded it. It's a shop. It probably has things for sale. There might be a couple of non-standard items in this playthrough, but nothing crazy. New armors for male Shep, so there is some... I think it just changes some... Okay, so there's some different things, but I'm interested to see what those look like, because I don't know if I'll use them, but it'll be cool just to have some variety since I've played this game so much. No skill check required for looting. This doesn't mean that I'm not going to dump a bunch of points into electronics or decryption in my teammates as though I were needing to open up all the hard and very hard skill checks. It's just that, once again, I've done that minigame 1,000 times. I do not need to prove to myself anymore that I can do it. Plus, for recording purposes, it's like, does anybody really want to watch me fail at a skill check? No, I don't think so. This is just a quality of life that's going to help me not have to edit as much. Basically, it just means that I can go directly to the Normandy from a rapid transit terminal rather than having to go to CSEC and then take the elevator. I'm probably only going to use that whenever I'm doing like side quests off camera for the most part, because I'll want to go up and down the elevator. I'll want to let people listen to conversations, and I'm going to put chapters in. And I'll say all this again too. So this is the one that might also be a little bit controversial to people, but this is the way that it changes it to how it kind of works in Modern Warfare in Mass Effect 3, to where you basically have one bar, so your bar fills up both, essentially. So if we filled up both, we'd have like 200% of the persuasion, if that makes any sense. Essentially, what this is going to do for us is it's going to let us roleplay easier with our Shepard. So, in all of the instances where it would be important that I have, like, for instance, there's a decision you can make in the game where you have to be all Paragon or all Renegade to a certain degree. I won't be picking the options that I wouldn't actually be able to pick in those scenarios. I will be able to pick the Renegade option because we will be 100% Renegade. It's just interesting how you can get there without being a complete and utter POS. You can actually be full Renegade in the game, even though I'm going to maybe use a little bit of cheating. But it's in the game. It counts. You can be almost full renegade, no problem, and not be like a total a-hole. But basically, this just makes it easier for us to roleplay, because even though we're going to be making a lot of renegade decisions, there are going to be paragon options that I want to be able to pick, because it makes it a little more unique of a playthrough. Quick loot just basically means that the notification thing that comes up that says what's inside of a chest doesn't come up anymore. I just put it in my inventory. And I think this is basically the exact same. And then we have an XP rescale. Essentially, I have it on the mode that like level 53 is the same as level 60, because I have 100% completed this game. Got all the achievements when it came out on Xbox 360. And I want to reach level 60 in this playthrough, not necessarily for the achievement, even though it's one of the only ones I don't have. I really don't care, but I want to be able to reach level 60 to fully flesh out whatever ethos I decide to create with this character. So those are the mods. If they make you upset, I'm really sorry, but I'm trying to make this this might be the last time I ever play Mass Effect, so I would like this to be a little bit unique. I want to be invested, because if this is the last time, then I want it to be memorable, and I decided to share it with the world for some reason. So thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I'm going to be releasing this video at the same time I release episode 1. So, bye-bye.